Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I recorded a Feed the Beast episode, so I'm going to sort of do a run over of everything that we've done so far, just in case if I forgot to include something in a previous episode. So we have a Tier 5, Tier 4, Tier 3, Tier 2, and a Tier 1 solar array. The Tier 1, I do have Tier 2 solar cells, so don't get a little confused. I don't really need them all. I sort of just have them thrown everywhere for right now, because I'm not really that great at building massive, I guess you could say, buildings to contain everything. I might go ahead and come up with maybe like an idea or something to try to contain all of this, but not 100% on what we want to do yet. So the Tier 5, it's actually outputting 475,000 RF. So with that one and this one alone, that's over half a million. If we go ahead in here and take a look at our system, we're only using 94,000 per tick. So we're generating an extra, we'll just say 400,000 plus, because we still have this as well, and there's 10 of them, and they are each producing a maximum of 400. So that's another 4,000. So I mean, it's not a lot of power compared to the solar panels or solar arrays, but it is a decent amount that we don't have to worry about power. The only issue that we're having is power storage. So the only downside to our power cells here is the input and output. The max is only 7,000, and we're generating 500,000. And if you remember, we are using a lot more than 7,000. We're using 94,000. So those power cells are not useful for what we need. This is a buffer. The storage here, it's only a buffer for the actual control network, like our flex network. So we do have a buffer of 256 just in here, and this is using it as well. So it's like a combination. Now, the only problem with that is this isn't going to be enough storage for what we need later, because a couple of the Draconic Evolution recipes, it actually requires multiple million of RF, so 256,000 not going to work. Now we could just make a bigger storage or flux net storage. Now the only issue with that is if we take a look here, this can hold 128 million. That's perfect. I mean, that would literally help drastically. Now the only downside to that is we need 6 of the Herculean, now, which also needs 6 basics. So we need 36 basics, and then that'll create the 6 Herculean for the Gargantuan. Now, the issue that we're having is to craft 36 of the basic flux, we would need, what is that, 72, 144, and another 72, like 215, we'll just say. We'll just say 220. We need 220 blocks of flux. Now, you need 5 flux per thing, and then you also need flux for each flux core. Now, flux is usually obtained by throwing redstone in fire or lava. Now, the creator of the mod, they actually changed how you obtain flux. You can no longer throw it into fire or lava to get flux. I actually went into the config in previous videos to try fixing that, and everything is enabled to allow that, and it's not working. So the creator of the mod actually changed it to where you have to mine redstone. Now, technically, we could get around that. So if you do recall, we actually have a system in place right now with the pulverizer that automatically inputs the redstone ore and just gives us redstone. So we don't have redstone ore in our system. Now, we could shut that off, and then we could technically, over time, just keep taking it out and using our hammer to break it all like constantly. Now, that would be one resolution. It's definitely possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It would be a very, very, very tedious process. So I'm kind of taken away on this storage just due to the amount of redstone I'm gonna have to go through, because like I said, we need a minimum, we'll say a minimum of what did we say, 220, right? because we need 36 of these. So 36 times 6 is what? I don't know. 6 and 3, that's 180, and 36, it's 2. It's like 216. So I just rounded up to 220. We'll just say 220. 220, and you need 5 flux per thing. So now you're looking at 1,000 flux. So now you also need 200 of these, which is 4, but that crafts 4. So we need another 200. So you're looking at 1,200. Okay, that is loud, first off. And does it even have the power to do it? Yes. Okay, so I've been running into a little... taking a break. We need 1,200 flux. And if you take a look here, we have 100. So we would need 1,100 flux, and you only have a 50% chance of getting it from redstone. So the minimum that we would need to... the minimum amount, if we had 100% luck, we would have to mine 1,200 redstone blocks. 1,200. And that's the minimum. And we can go 6 blocks without getting redstone. So that's why I sort of want to avoid that, and I want to keep all of the flux, just in case we have to make more points and plugs. Because there's not really another way to transfer power. So I want to save the flux in case we need that. So we need another way of storing redstone. And the reason we need another way of storing it is I want to input all of our flux into say a battery. And it can hold, like this one, how it can hold 80 million or 200 million. So it can hold 200 million overall, and that would work perfect because that gives us a 200 million RF buffer. So if this goes to nighttime and then in the middle of switching it to daytime, we have a 200 million buffer for everything to still work. Because right now, if say it goes to nighttime and we run out of power, our main power source is our solar arrays. Now, if it goes to nighttime and this tries switching it to daytime, it's not going to have enough power to do it, and it gets stuck into daytime. So then I have to go and sleep. And then I have to deactivate our system here. So I have to deactivate this just to be able to, so it recognizes that it's daytime. If not, that annoying noise continues nonstop. So we need a way to do a buffer or a battery per se. That's not working because it doesn't have a high enough output input. So the only other thing I can think of is the draconic evolution. And we're not close enough to do that. Because you need I think you need 4 stabilizers. And you're looking at awakened draconium ingots. We can't even do that yet. So I don't know if there's a smaller tier. I'm going to go ahead and look in the information tablet to take a look at everything. But I do want to start getting into draconic evolution here. It's like the late game armor and tools. The only reason I want to start getting into that is I want to get into that to get some armor and tools, and then we can go ahead and get into loot, so we can start spawning in a bunch of mobs that we need to get taken care of. So let me go ahead and open up this draconic evolution book here. Hopefully, okay, cool. Cancel. Draconic. Okay, now let's go ahead and into energy storage. So yeah, here we go. So you need 4 stabilizers. For the minimum tier, you need 1 energy core and 4 stabilizers, which I believe is what we just went over, correct? Reactor stabilizers. Right? Yeah. So we can't do that. So there's no way we can do the ore. So what we could do is we could try to progress as quickly as possible through draconic so we can get to the awakened ingots, the awakened draconium. And that way we can try to get this power storage up and running. There was a few other things through Ender IO. I believe they were capacitor banks. Let me see. Yeah, capacitor banks. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I actually did make one, and it wasn't working the way I wanted. So here's the alloy smelter. I don't remember if I made a video or if I did that in between episodes. Did I get carried away in between episodes? I don't think. No, because I think I needed the alloy smelter for that over there. I'm not even sure. But this is the alloy smelter. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys. I think I covered it, but just in case, because like I said, it's been a little bit since I recorded. I sort of did like a mass, like I played it for a long time in one day, and I got a couple videos within that one day, and then I haven't played it since. So I was sort of lost on what we covered, what we didn't cover, and on my part, I should go back and watch the videos and see what I all covered and what I didn't. So I do apologize on my end. So the alloy smelter, you can make it with 3 furnaces, 2 dark steel, an industrial machine chassis, and these gears here. So the gears, dark steel, and iron, and grains of infinity. We covered grains of infinity. I know that 100%. So that's how you make the dark. So the dark steel is where you can run into some trouble. So the easiest way was to make a steel ingot and then use pulverized obsidian to get dark steel. So the steel, there's a couple ways to get it. The easiest way is right here. So you used, let me go to the actual one here. So you can use pulverized coal. There it is here. Pulverized coal and iron and an induction smelter to get steel. Easiest way to get steel. You don't have to make a blast furnace. You don't have to do anything crazy. So 4 pulverized coal, 1 iron gives you a steel ingot. You use that for the darker steel nuggets here, and then you use it for the actual recipe itself. And then the industrial, you need a machine chassis. Very simple: iron bars, grains of infinity. We covered that. And then the industrial dye blend, just a bunch of different dyes. So you need organic green, organic black, organic green, lapis, and then some nether quartz. So the organic black is just in the alloy smelter. You have to throw in some pulverized coal. Or, yeah, pulverized coal, I believe, worked. Yeah, and then just a slime ball or an egg. So, very simple. And then, what was the other color? The green. The green was a little different. You needed clippings and also a slime. So, I believe I did do that in between episodes. I didn't cover it, but that's how you go ahead and make the alloy smelter. And then to power the alloy smelter, you actually need a capacitor. I'll show you that as well. It's nothing crazy. I think I just did the double. Yeah. So you just need 2 basic grains of infinity, gold nugget, copper. Simple stuff here. Pulverized coal. Throw coal into a pulverizer, you get that. The energetic alloy, just gold, glowstone, redstone, and the alloy smelter that we just crafted. And that gives you your double layer capacitor. Now, if you're asking how to get the alloy smelter when you need a capacitor to use the alloy smelter, just create a basic, throw it in there, and then go ahead and make your energetic. And then you can upgrade. And then also you can make the octadic. And that uses vibrant, alloy, glowstone, and 2 doubles. And the vibrant is an ender pearl, and an energetic alloy. Nothing difficult. And what it does is it just makes it so it holds more, and it increases your speed of the machine. So I believe that's everything that I did in between episodes. This has been running. I haven't had the server up in a long time, to be honest. We have 93 nether stars. We were going to go ahead and do the tome of... this one here. The tome of alkahestry from Requillery. We just have to get a charged creeper shot. You have to use a pistol from Reliquary to actually go ahead and do that. I didn't do that in between episodes. I said I was going to. We're going to try to get back on things here. Try getting back up and running. As you can see here, I did do the tier 4, I'll think of the name here eventually, the Void Ore Miner. I didn't do tier 5, the main, oh yeah I did, right here, I'm sorry, I forgot I moved it up here, but I did do the tier 5 also with all the speed upgrades. This bad boy is using 61,000 RF, so it's forking out a lot here. As you can see, it's just dumping stuff in there, so we should have a lot of basically everything. We have 7,000 diamonds, 9,000 rhodium, 10,000 litherite, 6,000 chironite, 3,000 palladium, 2,000 of the ionite, and then for the tier above what we're at, so what was that, tier 5? So tier 6, you need this dark ore down here, the athium. So I have 388, not a lot, but for every single one of the tier 5 structure or solar arrays or anything like that, you need a nether star for every single one. Let me show you here real quick. Structure frame tier 5. So for every one of these, you need a nether star. As you can see, you needed a lot of them. So We sort of need to get our wither farm a little bit more active. I don't want to say active because that's the main reason I want to do this woot, is that you don't need essence from here or the essence from our mob spawner to go over to here to spawn wither skeletons, to get wither skulls, to then spawn the wither. It's not the greatest plan, but it worked for now, just for us to get on our feet with nether stars. And once we get rolling here, we can go into the woot, and it automatically spawns them. Like I said, it just generates them. And then once it generates them, it automatically kills them, and it gives you the loot. So it's sort of like the void ore miner, where it just generates it. But at this point, it's better than trying to use the output from one machine to go into another machine to craft something, and then that output go into another machine, and then that machine go into what we need. So it basically eliminates the whole process. So I've been going a little bit here for like about 20 minutes, sort of just going through, catching up on everything that we've been doing. I need to put a sound muffler on that thing, because I know it's loud on my end, and I'm sure the recording doesn't do justice either. So let's see if I can make one of these. I know, don't get me wrong, this is the most hideous spot for it, but hopefully that works for me. I really don't want to hear that all the time. Now, like I said, I want to go ahead and get into Draconic. The main reason I want to do that, like I said, is if we progress as quickly as possible, we can get our power storage up and rolling. And actually, hold on. What about these, the energy cells? The send and receive is 1,000, but what if we enchant it? I know you can enchant them. These are the old school ones, the resonant ender cell, the reinforced, the signilium. Those are old school ones. Now, the energy cell, I know you can enchant them. Let's look at the mods, or the mods. But let's look at the enchantments here. I know that there's one called holding, yes. Now, should we try making one of these? Holding 4, yeah, I think 4 is the highest. Yeah, because it's stack. So I need a stack of chests, 12 lapis, and 25 levels. I got 96 levels. No issue there. So I need a book and quill. How's it nighttime again already? And how's that sound muffler not working? Would it be that? I don't know what the sound's going to be under. I'm going to try that one, though. Because obviously the sound muffler is not working for it. I needed 64 chests, a book and quill, 12 lapis. 12 lapis is nothing. Problem is, it might be the wood for the 64 chest. Oh, no, we got enough. Good, anyway. Maybe. Hey, there we go. This might be a waste, honestly, because I don't know what it's going to do, but... now, do we have one of the energy cells? Of course. Hopefully it increases everything and not just the capacity. Yeah, the send and receive is still 1,000. But it can hold 6 million. That might have been just a waste. I don't know how to... Thermal expansion. Yeah, because I don't think there's... You click these with like a hardened upgrade or something? But it does say basic on it. Do I have one of the hardened? I don't. Let me craft one of these. Ah! The RF is now 4,000. And it can store 8 million. We're on the right path. Did these tell me? No, those don't say anything. 9,000. We have this stuff. Who would have guessed? Got the Electrum. Alright, what do we need here? What do we need here? Okay, so we need 3 copper. Oh, how many did that make? We need to make sure that we make enough here. Okay, it does make 4. So we need 3 copper, 1 silver. Bang. Bang. 3 copper, 1 silver, and a bucket of redstone, which I believe is 4. And now we need a bucket. Here, do I have anything in there? Not the induction smoke. Where's the magma crucible? Oh, I took the magma crucible, didn't I? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Crescent hammer? Wrench? I thought it was a crescent hammer. I don't even know the name of the tools that I'm using every day. Oh, that jumping like that's driving me nuts. Did I not throw it in there? Did I put it in my backpack? Is there anything in there? No. Okay. I think that's all I need is 4, if I'm not mistaken, right? I need 10. What am I thinking? I'm going crazy. I apologize. I'm literally going crazy. Glad it's quick. Oh, I need a pulverizer. Ah. Show me the money. Show me the money. Think. You. I believe I need sand. It's so nice being able to just go in there and grab sand. Oh, it's amazing. Amazing. Okay, now, do we have the stuff for that? I doubt it. Shh. Don't say I doubt it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I knew I had that. 16,000. Now, the only downside is that, yeah, it's 16,000, but it's still not 90,000. I think that's what we're using, aren't we? Yeah, 94,000. And we're only using 1 because it's raining. So we need another way of getting it to be clear. There is a couple ways to do it, but let's go ahead to this resonant. Now, does this have... Ooh, it doesn't. Now, how can I have it so a machine has the available spots here? I guess I can't use an augment on these machines here. What's this? Stores a large amount of an item. Oh, I don't need that. Okay, so let's try to upgrade it again, I guess? Maybe it'll go to unlimited? I don't know. What is that? Pyrotheum. I don't have blaze. Oh, that's horrible. I think we go through this almost every episode. Every time I go to make something with blaze. Or, yeah, blaze powder. I never have it. Ever. Well, guess who has some now? This guy. Alright, so that's not an issue. Got that. That's easy. What else do I need? Lumium? What is lumium? That's bright, I can tell you that. 10 silver glowstone. So I need 3 tin, 1 silver. 1 silver. 10. 3. And glowstone. Should be generating glowstone. Yeah, look at all that glowstone. Holy lord. Should be 10 also. Not 100% on how much it generates, but I also need a bucket. Let me throw in the pulverized stuff real quick. Now, I know this episode's been all over the place so far, and like I said, it's been a while since I've recorded. I didn't really have a plan coming into today's episode, and I mean, obviously that's my problem, nobody else's, but I only need 4 of those. So, I mean, it's my issue, and next episode I'm going to be a little bit more organized. I'm going to get back into things here. So just hang in there with me for one episode as we try to get this taken care of here. Not taken care of, but try to get back on track here. Or gives you a lot of slag. I don't know what slag's used for. Give it to you. Have that. Now, enderium. We need it. Resonant ender, lead, platinum. So it still does use lead, huh? Or platinum, I mean. Never used to use platinum. I mean, I had to before. I guarantee I remember that. Using Tesseracts and Feed the Beast Monster, you used to have to use the, it used to be ferrous, not nickel. It used to be ferrous, and you had to put that into a, an induction smelter with cinnabar, which is smelted, not smelted. It's actually a block. Yeah, this here, cinnabar. You would get it, I believe it was an output, a secondary output for pulverizing gold. And you used to have to put that into a induction smelter with the actual nickel ore. And it would give you 100% output of a platinum. And the main reason is that you didn't find platinum. And I didn't know about void ore miners and what am I doing here? And virtual, not virtual, but basically virtual generation of ores. I didn't know about it, and it used to kill us. Like, we used Tesseracts for everything, because you use Tesseracts to transfer items, transfer energy, transfer liquids. So every time you see an ender chest or anything like that, or any type of power flux points or anything like that, Tesseracts were used. And every single time you needed 4 enderium, it's sort of like this basic 4 pattern here. So every Tesseract you needed 4 of those. So you had to set up a mob farm specifically for ender pearls, so you can get the resonant ender liquid for the buckets. Yeah, it was a big process, and I didn't really understand too much of Feed the Beast or anything like that. I grabbed one too many of those, but that's okay. So I didn't really understand everything fully then, and it was a big nightmare. It was definitely not the greatest time, but here we are now. We have plenty of enderium, and we barely use it. Well, maybe we will start using it if it helps here. I doubt it's going to take that up to anything higher. Yeah, it's 25,000. Now, how much power were we using at one time? 93. Even that max output, that's not going to help. How much was that store, though? 50 million. What if we throw that bad boy in here with that holding? 150 million RF. Now, the only issue is that the send and receive is only 25,000 RF a tick. And we're using 94,000 RF a tick. I have to move that thing. It's too loud. And it's obviously not that noise. I'm going to do this. And then I'm also going to go into here, music and sound. Let's go to jukebox, newtbox. That's it. And players, I don't have a player. Hostile creatures, I want up. Turn that down. Turn the IC2 down. Oh, it's probably blocks. What am I talking about? That means it's going to be silent, though. That's not going to make a noise. Actually, let's just do this. Not video. It's going to be blocks, so let's make it like 70% maybe. And now everything's real quiet, you know? But I can't turn it back up because of that. Okay, how in the world can I make that quiet? I wonder if I can hear that no matter how far away I am. I wonder if that's a thing. You know what? Test it. Alright, well, before I was interrupted there, so whenever I entered in the command for the time set, I used my numpad, and I forgot that when I hit the number 1 on my numpad, it starts my recording. So that stopped the recording whenever I was changing it to nighttime. So, long story short, I did a test. You have to be 180 blocks away from the Celestial for it to not make any noise. So I don't know if there's a way around that or not, but I guess we're just going to have to deal with it, huh? We're not going to have a choice. Unless I set it way over there and I just chunk load where it's at. That's possible. But, yeah, so what I'm thinking of is, I know it's way overpowered, but what if we use our energy cell? That's at 150 million. How? Oh, I have wireless charging, so I charged it while I was holding it. I charged 150 million that fast. That's crazy. So what I'm thinking of doing is, what if I do this? Grab a redstone, energy flux duct. I'm sure you guys can think of what I'm thinking here. Now. Now I never have to worry about this not having power. I mean, that's 150 million if it uses that much. So this should automatically, no matter what, until this runs out of power, and it shouldn't use a lot of power. Every time this runs, it shouldn't use nowhere near anything. And this even has a 4 million buffer. So this should have power all the time. So we should be fine. So that should constantly make a daytime. And if it makes a daytime, we constantly have power. Good. Yeah. Good. All right. So that takes care of that. Let's throw this stupid thing back in there. Let's throw the celestial power thing in there. Oh yeah. I did do that in between episodes. I believe I didn't record that. So I went ahead and if you go into networks, if you go into network connections, I went ahead and named, I tried to name all of the points and everything so I could see what's pulling power, what's not pulling power, what's sending power. I'm doing all of that. The main reason I did that is, so I did try in between episodes to have all of these solar arrays send into our power cells, and then output. So we sort of had power going in, power going out. So we had a buffer of, what is that, 200 million? Of 20 million. So if we had a buffer of 20 million, that would have worked perfect. So I did try that in between episodes. That's why I named all of the points and everything. And the main reason I did that is just so I knew exactly what was sending it and what was taking it. So I could figure out if that was going to work. And then I sat there for about 2-3 hours messing around with it. And then I came over here and realized that the input and output was only 7,000. That's what was limiting the input and output of it. And I didn't catch on to that until, like I said, about 2-3 hours after I was messing with it. So I sat there for that long and figured out that it wasn't going to work, basically. Now, well, let me check how long my last recording was, because I don't want to go too long. The last episode was literally an hour and some minutes long, so I want to try to avoid long videos. I mean, to me, I think an hour video is too long. I can't sit there for an hour and watch a video of like somebody playing a game. Like if I'm to watch a movie for 2 hours, I can. It's entertaining, and it's literally made to keep you entertained for that long. Me personally, a YouTube gaming video, if you can make it an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours long and keep somebody entertained and they're viewing that one video that long, more power to you. I feel like I'm not that entertaining to keep you guys here for an hour and to keep you occupied and not busy, to not keep you guys not bored. So I want to try to avoid an hour. So far I'm rolling it over a half hour, if not 40 minutes already, so I'm not doing a good job. But like I said, this wasn't a very organized video. This wasn't organized one bit. I'm definitely gonna have to make more disk drives in between episodes. So I didn't really do much this episode. The only thing I did was mess with a power cell and show you guys how to upgrade the power cell and how to give it a chance of holding, and also find out that we can't do anything that we want with Draconic Evolution right now. So yeah, we absolutely covered nothing. So if we go ahead and do our baubles here, I'm just gonna go a little bit longer here. We have this flux capacitor. It holds 9 million. Sends and receives. It sends 45. It receives 1,800 or 18,000 from wireless stuff. That always keeps charged because we have our wireless wireless charging turned on in our flux network. So if we go into here, there's capacitors from Draconic. Now the base is 64 million. Now you can enchant these to actually get RF capacity upgrades. As you can see, if you hold control for upgrades, it gives you the RF capacity, so you can actually increase it. The max, as you can see right here, is 160 million, And then the max on this is 768 million. Now, we're probably going to go with just a Wyvern, the capacitor. Wyvern's the step below Draconic, and you have to do Wyvern before you get Draconic because you need the Wyvern tools and armor for the Draconic. As you can see, you need it here for Wyvern and a fusion crafting, which we will get into a little later. And you also need a, I don't know, let's just do the sword. You also need that in the fusion crafter as well. So no matter what, you have to make the Wyvern before you go ahead. So the first thing I want to do is a sword, shovel, and a pickaxe. Now, if we take a look at this, you just need a diamond pickaxe. That's simple. We have 7,000 diamonds, or how many ever diamonds we have. That's not an issue. We also need draconium ingots. It shouldn't also be an issue. Every single tool, you're going to need another star, and then you're also going to need draconic cores, which are just diamonds, gold, and draconium ingots. And then down here, you also need a draconic core and 4 blocks of redstone. So it's nothing very difficult. The only difficult part is once you start getting in here, nether stars start rolling down and down and down. So currently we have 93. And the time we make it's not going to seem a lot, but we're going to use one on a pickaxe, one on a shovel, one on the sword. Now, once you get into Draconic, I believe it gets a little bit more expensive because you need an awakened core, which means you need 4 Wyvern, which means you need 4 nether stars just for the sword. So, or just for the pickaxe. So now the pickaxe, now you're looking at 4, and then I believe the sword is another 4. Yeah. So you need 4 here. Oh, I'm sorry, you need 5 because you have to have another star plus those. So it's 5 per tool on Draconic. So now you're looking at 5 for the sword, 5 for the pick, 5 for the shovel. Say you wanted to make the staff of power, you're looking at another 5. And then for some reason you want to create an axe and a bow, there's another 10. So you're looking at like 30 to 40 nether stars just for tools, not including your armor, and not also including all of our reactor stabilizers, which you also need a 1, 2, 3, 4 awakened cores, which is also another 5, which is 20. So just one stabilizer is 20 nether stars minimum. I didn't even look at all the other recipes. Here's another one. So you're looking at like 100 to 200, if not more, just to do the charger or the reactor. So we do need a lot. So that's where the woot's going to come in place. But I want to get started with Draconic before that. Like I said, I think 6 times this episode. So I want to go ahead real quick this episode and make the pick, the sword, and the shovel. They're all the exact same recipe except for the middle tool changes. All we have to do is just make 3 of these, 3 of these, and have 6 of those. It's simple. So if we need 3 of these, I'm just going to go ahead and make a stack of those like right now. Because you need a lot. So there's a stack. I don't have to worry about those ever again. So I need 3 of these. So let's go ahead and make 1, 2, 3. Done. Now we also need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Go ahead and just do 4 stacks of those, just in case we need them. I don't think we will, but that's alright. 3 of those. Now, we should have everything we need. Now we just have to make a stick. Need a pick. We need a sword. We need a shovel. Yeah. Now, think. Not that one. This one. Okay. So we have our tools. They're already charged because we have our wireless charging on. So technically we don't even need a capacitor if we have our wireless charging activated. So if you take a look at the sword and we hold shift, it's only a 15 attack damage compared to this one that's 19. That also has sharpness 5 and the Draconic does not. Also, if you go ahead into your options and the controls and then you go down to Draconic, they're in alphabetical order for the mods. So if you go down here, now I have mine as the grave key, which is tilde, the one next to the key to the left of the number 1 on the top of your keyboard. That's your tool and armor configuration GUI. So if I go ahead and hit that, this is what the HUD looks like. So I can scale it, fade it, toggle it. Once we have the armor on, there'll be like a little UI down here in the bottom left corner, and that'll tell you basically your shield capacity, the RF that it's holding, things like that. So if we go ahead and click on our shovel or our pickaxe, there's a dig speed multiplier. You can slow it down if you want. You can speed it up. You can also do a DOI, or AOI is an area of effect. I believe that's what it is. So what it is you can change it from, once we upgrade it, you can change it from 1x1, 3x3, and 5x5. And you can also have it to show that or not. So if we were to bring that down into our inventory, and I believe if I shut that off, see the little blue dot that moves? It's really, it's right below my crosshair right now. And it's in the middle of my crosshair. So if I was to take that off, let's go ahead back in here. Let's head to here. Turn it off. Now the blue dot's not there. It just keeps the default outline of the block like Minecraft always has. There's a couple other things. Configure junk filter. So I can configure, if I mine cobblestone, automatically gets rid of it. If I mine granite, andesite, diorite, any of those, it automatically gets rid of it. It doesn't even go into my inventory. Automatically throws it in the trash. So when you mine with this thing, it actually just gives you all the ores. Because you can set up your junk filter to automatically get rid of things. If you don't want iron anymore, include that in your junk filter. Automatically gets rid of it. Automatically deletes it from the world. So that's actually pretty cool. You can enable or disable it. And then also the sensitivity. So if you pick up, I think this is big with the sword. Like if you were to kill a skeleton and you wanted to get rid of the swords, or not the swords, the bows, it won't care about the sensitivity of the numbers of the durability, so it'll automatically get rid of them no matter what. So that's basically the pickaxe. Now you can do that with all of them. The sword, the attack radius. Once you increase it, it'll give you a swing ability, and it's pretty nice. And then also the shovel gives you the same thing as the pickaxe with the configuration and everything. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. Bring down the pick. That. Let's actually move this that way. The reason is I'm going to keep the hammer. And the main reason is this that's fortunate. Mine's a 3x3 for now. This does not. I can upgrade it by using a dig OEA. So as you can see, it's setting the level. I need let's see. Is that the actual one that I need? Yeah. So that's how you craft it, and then to actually input it into the machine or into the tool, you need a you just use a thing. I don't think you can use just an enchantment table. I thought there was a block that you had to place it on. Almost 100% there's a block you have to place it on. Let's check here. Sonic Evolution. Am I missing something? Energy shield, no. Fusion crafting, no. Do you have to use it in the... Maybe you... Uses. Yeah, now I can do efficiency and stuff that way. But how do you use the upgrade keys? Okay, so in between episodes, I'm going to figure out what we do with the upgrade keys. I'm also going to go ahead and just do the basic enchantments that we have on our tools already. So the sharpness and looting, and then also fortune and efficiency. And I'm also going to do unbreaking so it doesn't use as much power. I'm going to go ahead and throw those on our sword and pickaxe and shovel. And then we're going to have a plan of action for our next episode so we can get straight into it without sort of covering a bunch of things and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what we need to do with these upgrade keys. I believe we need a fusion crafter to do it. Obviously, I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% that's what you need it for. Yeah, right here. So to put that on our shovel, to put it on our pickaxe, so it increases the actual area of effect, you do need fusion crafting. And you need 2 golden apples, 2 diamonds, 2 eye vendors, a draconic core, and then the upgrade key. So you do need the fusion crafting for this. The next episode we'll get into the fusion crafting. Hopefully we have enough RF for it. We'll get into that, and then maybe also a capacitor or 2, or just a capacitor. I don't think we're going to need more than 1, obviously. I don't even think we need a capacitor, to be quite honest, but we'll go ahead and just jump into fusion crafting, maybe do our armor, and then try to jump straight into draconic here, so we can get rid of our diamond armor and upgrade our setup. So that's going to be it for this episode. We didn't really do much except for cover what we already have accomplished this basically so far. And yeah, feel free to like, subscribe, and also ring the notification bell so you are notified when the next video goes live. And I will catch you guys in the next one.